Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be doing a full drivetrain service, or not a full drivetrain service, a half drivetrain service. Today we're going to be changing engine oil. I'm not going to go into much detail about that because it's just the engine oil. Then I'm going to change the front and rear differential oil, and then our transfer case oil. And that's it. This is pretty much just a 30,000 mile service. The only things I'm leaving out is air filters, propeller shaft lubing, which I've done recently, and a brake fluid change or flush, which I don't need. My brake fluid's clean. Here is the official Toyota dealership maintenance log for the 30,000 mile service. You're welcome to look at all these things. I'll put a link in the description for the maintenance logs if you want to take a look at them. It's just like an owner's manual for a 5th gen 4Runner, and you just scroll down to the 50th page-ish, and you'll find the maintenance logs. But you want to just inspect all these things. I'm not going to read them all. Most importantly, you want to change your transfer case oil, tighten the nuts and bolts, replace differentials, and that's about it. What you're going to need for this service is 6 quarts of 75W85 full synthetic gear oil, and then you will need 2 quarts of the MT-LV gear oil as well. These are approved by Toyota, and they will be linked in the description, as well as all of our crush washers for our differential and our transfer case. You also need a fluid pump to pump your fluids up into the differentials as well as the transfer case, because there's no way to fill them from the top. So this will be linked in the description as well.
Now, the tools you're going to need for this job is a 10mm hex bit, a breaker bar, a 24mm socket, jack and jack stands, and a torque wrench.
All right, the first step you want to do is park your car on level ground. Next step is to remove your car's skid plate, which I have already done. It's different for every car. I have an aftermarket skid plate, so it'll be irrelevant. All right, we are now at our transfer case. We have our fill plug and our drain plug. So go ahead and remove your fill plug. Is a 24mm. All right. Let's make sure that comes loose. And it does. We'll go ahead and break that one loose. Get your catch pan ready. And let her rip. And now that your oil is draining, you want to put on your new crush washers. That's what they look like. Go ahead and install your drain plug along with your new crush washer. Just gonna snug that up a little. We're going to be filling the transfer case with about 1.1 quarts of fluid. Mine is part-time 4-wheel drive, so it's supposed to take 1.1. If yours is full-time 4-wheel, yours should take 1.5. But regardless of how much fluid your transfer case takes, you're just supposed to fill it up until it trickles out the fill hole. Now that it's trickling out, I'm just going to wait until it stops running and then cap it off. And that'll be good. And then you want to torque both bolts to 27 foot-pounds. Now grab your 75 W85 oil, and now we're going to change our differential fluid. This is easier than an oil change, and so it shouldn't take super long. So here's our differential. Here's the fill plug. Here is our drain plug. I know mine looks very dirty. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean off around our fill and drain hole.
If these drain and fill plugs are especially dirty like mine, like filled with dirt and mud, you want to make sure that these hex nut holes are completely clear of dirt and mud, because you run a chance of stripping them if they are not completely clear and the hex bit does not sit perfectly in that plug. We're moving on to the fill plug for the front differential. These two plugs are very hard to get off. They can be stuck. You can see it took a lot of effort for me to get this first one.
There we go.
So as you can see with the fill plug and this attempt right here at the drain plug, I was using a PVC pipe attached to a 10 millimeter large Allen key. This doesn't work. You want to use hex bits and a breaker bar, because as you can see, I could not get this unstuck. I used an impact gun here. This is a bad idea. What if the impact gun broke the drain plug? Then I would need the whole front differential replaced. By the way, the impact gun didn't even work, so just use a breaker bar and a hex bit.
What the? All right, we're back. We lifted the car. Now I'm gonna try again with our breaker bar. Oh, I got it. Woo! All right, now that our fill plug is loose and we've cracked our drain plug loose, just go ahead and you know what to do.
While your differential oil is draining out, now would be a good time to take some parts cleaner and clean out your fluid pump, since the oils used in the differential are different than the transfer case. This crush washer for the drain plug is pretty weird, and it's very easy to not realize that your old one is still in there and put a new one in on top of it. So just make sure that the old crush washer is out.
So now you just want to make sure you want to put your new crush washer on there. It is a copper one. It's that large copper one. And then you just want to clean off the black gunk on the top of your drain plug. And then I'm going to rub a little bit of oil around these threads, just so it doesn't get frickin' stuck again next time. All right, I've got my bottle hooked up. Now we're just gonna take our pump and just pump it up all in there. This differential for part-time four-wheel drive takes 1.5 quarts, and this many quarts for full-time four-wheel drive, I don't know. The easy way to do it is to just pump it until a little bit of fluid trickles out of the fill port, which is the way I'm gonna do it. So I'm not really measuring, but it should be around 1.5 quarts. Like that. Yeah, that means we're done.
You'll then want to torque the drain plug to 48 foot-pounds.
Next, we're going to install our fill plug. Now that your differential is full, make sure you have that new crush washer on there. And then we are torquing the top one to 29 foot-pounds. Yep. All right, and that's it for the front diff.
Now make your way over to the rear of the car. For the rear diff, all you need is a 24mm socket.
This is a step you need to take if you do a lot of off-roading. I've got mud caked up in where the socket needs to go, and so I'm taking this little mini screwdriver and clearing that mud out. All right, so now that you've cleaned off your drain plug and your fill plug, now you just want to take a 24mm and you want to break your fill plug loose. All right. Then you just want to take your 24mm again and break loose that drain plug. Ah, sweet. That one was easy compared to the fill plug. And then while that's draining, now would be a good time to change your crush washers and clean off your plugs. All right, now that you've got the diff drained and you have your plugs cleaned and new crush washers, then you just want to put everything back on. It was very, very, very smart for Toyota to put this ring around this drain plug, because I cannot tell you the amount of times I've hit this ring on rocks. And I'm just gonna take my breaker bar and just tighten it up slightly so it doesn't leak. And we'll get that torqued later. Go ahead and take your hose, run it up in your diff. Start pumping. All right, and then get your fill plug with your new crush washer that is also clean. And just go ahead and throw that sucker on there. All right, this one's easy. You just want to torque them both to 36 foot-pounds. And that's it. That's how you do your rear diff. And just a method of precaution. Once you change it, just drive your car around a little bit. Go back under your car, check for leaks, and then just button up your skid plate, and there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Just smash that like and subscribe button. I have a bunch of other maintenance videos for the 4Runner, so if you're interested in doing that yourself, go check those videos out.